Hey guys, John here. Happy 4th of July. I just wanted to take a couple minutes here and make a couple videos going over some of the purchases that I have made since the last time I made some videos, because there's been some changes and some new additions to the family. The first one I wanted to make a video of is this. A Sig P226 TAC Ops. Now listen, since I've been knowing about handguns, people have been raving about the Sig P226. I never really understood why. I've played with them in stores, I've shot them a few times, and I thought finally, okay, I have a gun I kind of want to get rid of. Let's go into a gun shop and see what they got. And they had this on the shelf. This is the second most expensive Sig 226 that they make. It's the TACOPS. Sig 226 TAC Ops. Now, how you can tell if you're looking at a TACOPS is a couple of things, okay? Number one, they'll have this big grip extension here that looks like a magwell, and it helps you with your reloads, okay? It'll have 4 of these Metgar 20-round magazines, so they're extended magazines, a +2 extension. I think normal 226 mags this size are about 18 rounds. They have a +2 base pad, so you get 20 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. So that's a visual indication. Another one is you'll have these special sights. They have the Sig Light night sights here in the back, and then a TFO in the front, which is a fiber optic insert in front of a tritium vial. So they'll all glow at nighttime, and that little green thing will bright up real light in the sun when you're outside shooting. Now, I bought this gun because I wanted to shoot production in USPSA with a double single action handgun. So these 226s are all double action, single action. What does that mean? So it means that the first shot here, and we'll safety check here real quick. Empty mag. The first shot is double action, pulling the hammer back and then releasing the hammer and hitting the striker or the firing pin. Okay, then the slide will cycle and the hammer is cocked back. And now, on these this TAC Ops version, they have installed what's called a short reset trigger. Okay, now watch how short this reset is. It's real short. Short. Okay, slide will cycle. Really, really, really short. About a 4-pound pull on single action. About a 10 or 11-pound pull on double action. That's so let's talk about the ergonomics here, okay? A lot of people rave about how SIGs feel in their hands, okay? They go, oh wow, it feels so good, it feels so good. Now, I've worked in a gun store, and I've played with these 226s a whole bunch of times, and I never really understood what they were on about until I kind of started watching people in the gun store, and they'll do this. They pick up a handgun with one hand, they start pointing around, and yeah, sure, this thing feels great with one hand. It feels amazing with one hand, especially when you start playing with a trigger, and you're like, oh yeah, that feels real good. But I think what they neglect to do is go ahead and get their left hand on the gun, or their non-dominant hand, and get their nice 2 thumbs forward grip, because that's when shit changes, okay? Now, the problem that I have, okay, and I'm going to be honest with you now, dislike this handgun. I'm absolutely going to be selling it for this reason. It's just not something I'm okay with, I'm not comfortable with, and it's not a change I want to make, especially when there are other guns on the market that will be just as accurate, just as well made, without this problem. This is it. The decocker here. Okay, so sometimes when you're in single action, you want to lower the hammer, like say for carrying. If you wanted to carry this gun, I would recommend you drop the hammer and you have to have a first double action pull on the trigger. So there's this little lever here, and if you see, look real close, it looks like a hook. This is the slide stop. So if you want, there, okay, and that's just a normal slide stop, okay. I like where that is. I like how big that is. But what I don't like is the decocker. Okay, then let me show you why. As I grab my grip, that decocker digs right into the meat of my hand. Real bad. The soft spot too. It's not like I can get callus there. Okay, so as I go in here, and listen, let me tell you, I know everybody raves about how nice and smooth 226 shoots, but look, there is a lot of slide up there moving around. A lot. Okay? And any way you cut it, there is going to be some significant muzzle rise on this gun. Significant, even in 9mm. And as you get your good grip and that muzzle rise, even if you try to keep your hand right where it is, I'm telling you right now, that hook right here on the decocker starts digging in your hand real bad. And what happened for me is, that started to be the only thing I was thinking about, was how bad my hand hurt. And I can't even imagine shooting a USPSA match, which is, again, what this was made, which I bought this for. In the sun, 200 rounds in, with my hands sweaty and soft from the heat, shooting this handgun 200 rounds in, under pressure, rapid fire, quick double taps. My hand would be a mess. And the proof of that is, I'll put in a video here at the end, where I shot 60 rounds at about 13 yards with this gun. And the group was about 12 inches at the chest. Now at 13 yards, for a gun that costs $1,300 to $1,400 new, which is what this costs because it's an all metal gun, so it's heavy. These are literally $1,400 out the door. I think here in Louisiana they're about $1,200, and we live in a state where there's 10% tax. So you're looking at $1,400 out the door. So at $1,400 out the door, you better get a nice 4-inch group at 13 yards at best, or better. And what happened was I got a 12-inch group because I had shot probably another 200 rounds before this, and I was like, something ain't right. Let's do an accuracy test. We'll do slow fire, all single action only, so real light on the trigger, 4-pound trigger pull. And I just put them out there. And again, I'll show you this footage here at the end of the video. The group is literally 12 inches with a couple of flyers. And if I included the flyers, it would be like a 2-foot group. So then I got really kind of discouraged, and I said, okay, so what I'll do is I'll take my Glock 19, which is my daily carry gun. I'll put 20 rounds in it because I have a 20-round magazine here. And I'll shoot 20 rounds right at the head. And the great thing about this was that I was carrying it the whole time. Again, this is empty, okay? I was carrying it the whole time I was in the range, so the whole left side of the gun was soaking wet with sweat because there was no AC in the range that day. So when I picked up the gun, I got my good left hand, thumbs forward on the gun. I do a lot of recoil mitigation with my left hand and control, especially some aiming too. And I really kind of push my elbow up into the gun. I get a good grip. And I put 20 rounds and maybe a 4-inch group right in the head. And I wasn't going slow. I wasn't being accurate. I was going pop, 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 pop 20 times. And hit a 4-inch group like this. Now that could be because it's got a nice trigger. It could be because it has an RMR in it. It could be a whole bunch of things. It could be them used to shooting Glocks. But regardless, a $1,400 handgun out the box should be able to do better than a 12-inch group with any shooter at 13 yards. And I was just really highly discouraged by that, especially for the price and all the raving that's been going on about it. So I'll tell you this right now. This is getting sold. There's no way I can sit on a $1,200 gun that I'm not going to shoot. And, you know, listen, this has a lot of features that the average new shooter is not going to know how to handle. You know, they're not going to really understand what a single action, double action is. I'm going to have to take a lot of time explaining that. I'm going to have to show what a decocker is. I'm going to have to have them pull through an 11-pound trigger pull on their first. It's just too much for what I was also going to be using it for, which is a training pistol for new people. So it was going to be a production pistol and a training pistol, and it just is not cut out for either of those by a good standard. So this gun is going to go the way of the dinosaurs real quick, not in my position, and I'm going to invest the money in training and ammo because this has got to go. This is way too expensive to be sitting on. So unfortunately, I was really hoping when I bought this and I left the gun store that this was going to be like an amazing gun. And one of the cool, it does feel good in your hand. I like the extended beaver tail. It's another reason why you can tell you're looking at a TAC Ops, which is a similar thing to a Legion. The trigger is similar to a Legion as well, but they have this big extended beaver tail, which I'm just kind of playing with it now. It feels good, but I can't shoot it worth a shit, so it's got to go. So sorry, all you SIG lovers. I know you're out there, and I know you're going to hate this video, but listen, do not despair. I have another SIG that I bought that I love a lot, and we'll go over that here in another video. Check out the range footage. Okay, so we are at the range here. Got the new purchase, Sig 226 TAC Ops with the short reset trigger. I have a light on it and everything, so it's a Streamlight TLR1HL. I got the target out here at about 12 yards, and I'm just gonna do some accuracy testing because it's my first day in the gun on on the single action only. I'm not gonna mess with double action. Not quite good with it yet. I'm a Glock guy myself. My everyday carry is a 19C RMR'd, so this makes it a lot. Sorry, they're shooting like a bear gun over there. I don't know what it is. Okay, so we're just gonna see how it goes. 21 rounds in each magazine, or 20 rounds in each magazine. I put one in the pipe, so I'll make it like I'm gonna carry it, but I'm gonna take the double action off. So let's see how this goes. So I just got through shooting 60 rounds to the Sig P226 TAC Ops. I gotta say, I am disappointed to say the least. So I'm gonna reel in the target now and let you see, and then I'm gonna shoot a group with my 19 to the head at the same distance, about 13 yards, and you'll see the difference. All right, so just so you can see we're at about 13 yards, I want you to see how terrible this group is. At 13 yards, all the rounds should pretty much be touching. And that was the best I could muster. Fucking pathetic. I'm not happy with that at all. Not at all. That's not, that is not acceptable. That's 60 rounds at 13 yards. They should be all in a group about this big, which you'll see here in a second. I'm gonna put 20 rounds right in his head at the same distance with my 19. So let's wheel back out there. Alright, so now you just saw the 60 round group that I shot with the TAC Ops, okay, 226. I'm pretty disappointed with it. So now I'm going to use my 19C with an RMR, and it's all sweaty on one side because I've been carrying it this whole time I'm in the range. And what you're going to see is 20 rounds in the head. I can't record it because my buddy Chris didn't come today, but you're going to see a huge difference in the group size. Right, so I just got through shooting 20 rounds with my 19C. And what you're gonna see is pretty stark difference in the comparison. So let's reel it in and have a look. You can see 13 yards. The 226 was to the chest. The 19 was to the head. So let's reel it in. And again, I shot the 19C a lot faster. A lot faster. Let's have a look. Look at that group. Okay. 19. 226. Now that might have something to do with the RMR. I think it has to do that I can shoot a Glock better. I mean, look at that. That's at about 15 yards. In fact, that was a little bit further than this here. That was out further than this. Again, this is the 19. Okay, nice tight group. That's probably, I don't know, a 4-inch group at 13, 14 yards. And this one here, that's probably what? A 12-inch regular size group? Crazy.